We got the Eachine 400mm T-28. I've been waiting for this forever, and I'm so excited to show it to you today. In the rain, very light rain. We're gonna try this out, starting from beginner mode. Everything's ready to rock. Oh yes, awesome. High visibility paint job. This is super easy to fly right now, and we are not in dead calm. I'm just gonna say that right now. It is not crazy either. That thing is easy to see, isn't it? Very stable, very stable. Full up, full down, full left. Man, that stabilizer's working like crazy. This is really easy to control. Okay, one touch aerobatics. That was a loop, awesome. Stabilizer's kind of like having a schizophrenic episode here. Okay. I tried doing a one touch roll there, it did not give it to me. Okay, we're gonna try again. There we go, little roll. Didn't do the roll to the left because I didn't do it in time. There we go. All right, so just coming back, we'll get a couple low passes here. Now this EPP material is extremely resilient. It holds up really well. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the intermediate mode. Okay, so you can flip it over on the elevator axis when you're in intermediate. So I can do a loop. Okay. Getting back into the throttle. There's a loop. So you can see that's pretty cool. Oh, that thing looks gorgeous. About half throttle there. The landing gear are very cartoony. I think this plane would stand to use a little bit smaller landing gear. You can do rolls and aerobatics, acrobatics. Very easy to fly. I can't believe how easy it is to fly. I mean, this is like, can't roll it over on the aileron axis though. See, it's fighting me. It's got limited bank angles, but it's almost totally sideways. So very sophisticated 6-axis gyro. Okay, now I'm gonna go into full control modes. Now I'm in expert mode. Wow, really solid. Surprisingly solid, really easy to fly. Probably the easiest one I've flown from Eachine. I feel like totally in control here. This is bizarro, guys. I'm really, really happy with this. So guys, this is just in expert mode, and I never fly these little planes in expert mode. You know, they just don't usually do very good, but this thing's doing great. Okay, so I'm gonna come out here. We'll go into the bull, 5 steps back, camera crew. I'm gonna land right where you are. No, toward the house. And we're gonna try a landing here. Oops. Okay, so that is one of the best features of these Eachine planes is they have these little pop-on propellers. You can see the gearbox in there. Okay, so that gears the motor down. I think I said it slows down the motor earlier. I was wrong, I was backward. Okay, so we're gonna start from expert mode now. Expert's all the way back, beginner's all the way forward. Man, it's just really easy. It's very predictable. It does exactly what you expect it to do. Now, it doesn't auto level when you're in expert mode, obviously, but it just flies good. I'm surprised. Usually these things, when you're out of a beginner mode or the, you know, like 6-axis gyro mode, they're just incredibly difficult to fly because they're so touchy. But like really, this thing has been kind of good to fly in expert. Okay, we'll just come in here. Oh no, another crash. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pop that prop back on there. And just to give you an idea, guys, this approach here, or this driveway right at this spot is 37 feet wide, and it's probably about 40 feet deep. So to give you an idea of space, we're standing, I would say I'm at 2/3 right here because there's a crack here cut. So just to give you an idea of how quick this thing takes off, I'm off before the end of the 2/3 of the 37-foot approach. Just a nice idle pass. Guys, this plane is fun to fly. It's easy to fly. It's very predictable. Feel like I'm probably getting a little bit close to running out of juice, but I'm at 50% throttle here still. You have to be a little bit on it to fly it in expert mode. I'm gonna go back to intermediate. It's kind of nice because you can just relax. Look at that beautiful approach. Look at that. Really fun little plane. And we're not flying in perfect conditions, but it's not horrible either. The rain is getting a little bit heavier. I'm probably gonna have to land. Okay, coming around. As you guys can see, it's fall, so. Oh man, I gotta get a good landing for the people because I feel like this plane deserves it. Okay, so you wanna go about 4 steps to your left. Left, thank you. Good job. All right, here we go. All right, coming in, we'll try to get a better landing this time. It's just a little bit, wants to tip down on the nose. I think part of the problem is when I did that first rough landing, you see what happened in the landing gear? It got bent back just a hair. So we'll just bend that forward a little bit. And once that's bent forward, then I will try again for a takeoff. Let's do a hand launch for the people at home. We're in an intermediate mode. Camera crew's out of the rain. Beautiful. This thing does great. I can't believe how well it's doing. Guys, these Eachine 400 series planes have been awesome. They've been just a joy to fly. They've been a joy to review. Just not quite enough up elevator to get the flare I want. That's all I'm dealing with. Definitely, this is a good one. If you guys are new to the game and you're wanting to learn to fly, this plane would not be a horrible option. Yes, a high wing trainer would maybe be a little bit easier, but honestly, having that nose gear, it does help. It does kind of help protect you from having complete damaging crashes. And I think I'm just gonna straighten this landing gear up a little bit. What I need to do is I just need to take I need to take my needle nose pliers and bend it and actually bend it forward a lot. And then I can maybe get in there. See, the thing is, guys, you can't really fix the CG with this particular battery because there's just nowhere to go with the battery, you know, in terms of getting it back. If you used a little bit smaller battery, then you would tend to be, you'd be a little bit more allowed to flare the plane on touchdown. And that's what I'm trying to do with the plane. But boy, really like it. Great little valuable plane. I mean, this thing is cheap. It does everything the way it should. It's very predictable. And again, we're flying in rain with a little bit of wind. Obviously, we're flying on a calm day with no wind. This thing is gonna be awesome. Stick around, we're gonna do the unbox and set up. Check the link in the description below. You can buy one for yourself. If you're buying this as a gift for Christmas, get on it, order it today because they're not gonna be shipped in 5 minutes, okay guys? Seriously, thanks for watching. YouTube, Brian Phillips coming back with another box. This one I've been waiting for a long time, and I'm excited for it. Ooh, what does this say? The Legends Warbird Series 400, which stands for 400 millimeters. What could it possibly be, camera crew? Oh, she doesn't have a mic because we're sick. We have a deadly virus called the common cold. Sorry in advance, guys, but we can't wait. We can't wait to share this beautiful thing with, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, look at that beauty. We've already done this, we've already done that. Now we're gonna do this. The T-28, is that what it is? I sure hope so. There's a little red dot next to it. Yes, the T-28. I've been waiting on this. I ordered this thing like back when I was 10 and I just got it. So I'm really excited for this one. There's been a couple other Banggood packages that have showed up, and I was thinking that this was the product that was going to show up those days, and I was mildly disappointed when I found out that it wasn't, because this plane is going to be cool. And I've had so many people ask about this one, and I've been telling them for months, I don't know where it is. It's been on order, it says shipped, and here it is. So to answer your question, it's here now, and we're gonna pull it out right now. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see this little thing fly. Oh yes, it's everything I could have imagined and more. The box is kind of lame because it doesn't even show a picture of the plane except for on the side. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this tape. You can see it's packaged in here. Looks like the typical WL Eachine XK style El Cheapo radio. This one here has an acrobatics button, expert, mid, beginner. One of the simpler controls you can get. There is a spare prop in this plane, that's nice. It's in the back. I'm just pulling this stuff out so I don't forget. Comes with one of the world's smallest screwdrivers, which is really nice. As you can see here, got the spare prop with the quick detach and quick reattach style. So you just kind of rock them on there, and it's got the integral spinner, which is nice, that customary spinner from the T-28 and F4U Corsair. Of course, the spinner on the P-51 is more of a conical shape. This is more of a half round shape, which is kind of interesting. Okay, see here, comes with the charger, comes with the landing gear, comes with some screws that actually help to hold the landing gear in. As you know, this is a tail dragger. It's not a tail dragger, it's a tricycle. And that's one thing that sets it apart from the P-51 and the F4U Corsair. Of course, those planes are both tail draggers. So this plane is going to be a little bit different in that sense, and I'm actually quite excited about it because the problem I had with the F4U Corsair is I had clearance with the prop. So I'm having to do a little bit more cutting than usual to get this front end out. I suppose I could just peel the whole piece of tape off. Okay, we've never had a problem with an XK product coming damaged, which is one of the big advantages of dealing with XK / Eachine / WL toys. They are well packaged. That's important. This is very stiff and strong. It doesn't have a lot of torsion to it, so that's good. If you have a well-designed package, you have a good chance of getting your plane home in one piece. That is really nice looking. And to be honest, you know, that looks a little bit cartoonish in terms of the prop size, but that's probably a little bit more accurate than other planes I've seen. This is really good scale lines. I am super impressed. Same as I was with, you can't do that with other Verizon Bobby products. I can just say that. Look at that, one single little dinky servo for the ailerons. Hope it's strong enough. Looks like the battery is, this thing is glued in nicely. That we've noticed has been a problem lately. The airfoil is nice. It's got a hollow on the bottom so they can make the wing thinner. That's nice. There's a linkage on, looks like we're on the middle hole for the rudder, and then a linkage, we're on the middle hole for the elevator. So as you probably have already gathered, this is a 4-channel plane, so you have ailerons, elevator, throttle, and of course the battery is stuffed in here. So we're just gonna pull that out. This lead is kind of tucked in funny. Okay, so now that I've got that out, we can pop out the battery. It looks like they sent a 3.7 volt, 400 milliamp hour LiPo with low C style connector. Let's show you how I'm gonna charge this. Obviously, when you get your own model, you may have already had other models. In my case, I have like hundreds of them, so I have a million different ways of charging my aircraft, but I wanna show you that the one that comes with it will work fine, and then I'm gonna go ahead and charge it on something better. That's not to say that the one that comes with it is bad, it's just gonna take a lot longer. Comes with a Phillips screwdriver.
It's not super tiny.
It's not super tiny, it's actually about a perfect size, but it's got nice edges on it, so you can really get in there and torque on it. Comes with the screws. Oop, we gotta get this thing charging. Okay, so battery charger. Like I said, hundreds of these things. Maybe not hundreds of these things, but I have maybe 100. It's a simple setup. It's got the correct end on here, and then over here, it shows the input voltage is 5 volts at 0.5 amps to 2 amps. Then the output is 3.7 volts at 500. That is also incorrect because you don't charge a LiPo at 3.7 volts. You charge it at 4.5 or 4.2, and then you shut off when it gets to 4.2. Okay, so this just, you know, you have to kind of take things like this with a grain of salt. I'm gonna turn this on. It's got a 5 volt at 1 amp USB port on it. Nothing magical about this. See the light flickered for a second, and then as I insert this, The light comes on nice and bright. You can tell it's coming on very obviously. There's two different charging choices that I know would work well on this. Looks like this one doesn't have the Losi style connector. So if you bought this one with these different leads, you don't have the right type of connector on there, okay? So that's not gonna work well. But if you did get this, then you can use your Molex plug. I call them Losi because that's what's, I've just been calling them that for years. So like I promised, I'm gonna plug it in here. So this is 400 milliamp hours. So on this particular charger, it's already set the LiPo on all 4 of those channels. So you just plug that in, press this, and you scroll it in until you get to the 400 milliamp hours. So in this case, it's 0.4 amp hours. Then you press and hold, and it's gonna start charging. That would be at a 1C charge rate. Now, lucky for you guys at home, I have hundreds of batteries, so we don't actually even have to charge it. This happens to be an Eachine from the E11, what is this? The E119, that's 350 milliamp hours. I'll just look through and see if I can find one. Look at that, there's 300. Is this one 500? This is from the F4U Corsair, and look at that, 400 milliamp hours. So we'll just go ahead and test it on this little voltage alarm. Make sure the negative goes there. One cell is at 4.19. So that one's charged. So we'll just use this one for our further setup. We're gonna need to get a couple of AA's to put into the back of here. Let's just visually look at that. Oh, look, extra batteries, awesome, cool. So this one came with 3 batteries. So we just need to go get 4 AA's. I'll get these ones set charging. And another tip, mark on here right now while you've got the new plane, you're ready and willing and able. I'm just gonna do it right now. This is gonna say T-28, Trojan, T-28, T-28. Now, why do we mark them? Because then you know how old they are, because you can remember when you got that particular plane. Now these batteries too, just in case you're wondering, you can generally charge them a little bit faster than 1C. In my case, I'm gonna charge them at 1C, which would mean 1 times their charge rate. So I'm gonna charge them at 400 milliamp hours or 0.4 amp hours. Okay, so each of these ones, I'm just setting to 0.4. And once it's set to 0.4, then I can click. Once it starts, I can let go. And then the other thing you're gonna do, if you're a smart person, is you're gonna mark this thing and you're gonna say T-28, okay? And then when you get like about 30 of these things in 3 or 4 years, then you won't be searching through wondering which one controls what. So we're gonna go ahead and next grab a couple of AA's and show you how to put those in if you haven't already figured it out. The flat side goes to the spring. These are just the run-of-the-mill, crappiest, cheapest AA's I could find. If you buy this as a ready-to-fly expecting to have AA's, then you're gonna have to get one that's shipped locally, domestically. The ready-to-flies that come from China typically don't include the AA's, just it's too expensive to ship them. The LiPos do, however, come as part of the plane, even though they're removable. They're supposed to be like integral. So these props pop off. Okay, so if you have a crash, they just pop right out. Okay, there's just like depression, and you just pop it in there. Okay, don't get too crazy because you can't actually unglue the motor mount. Now it does come with a spare receiver. Okay, and then it comes with the spare prop itself. So you'll see. Super easy to fix this stuff. Okay, so you snap those together. I'm not gonna snap them together because I wanna keep them apart. Now these props are, I think they're all pretty much the same on the 400, which speaks to the 0.4 meters or 400 millimeters wingspan, and it's approximately 400 millimeters. This one happens to be 400 millimeters. It's 60 grams, it's EPP. It's got a 10 millimeter coreless, which is also known as a brushless motor, or excuse me, a brushed motor. 360 milliamp hour, they upgraded that for us. It's got the 6-axis gyro, and it's claiming to be a 15-minute flight time. I kind of doubt it's going to go for 15 minutes. Probably be closer to 10, but whatever. I'll take it if I can get it. Okay, transmitter's on. We have a red flashing light. It's solid now. I'm going to turn that back off, in fact. Let's get the landing gear in here. So the reason I'm doing landing gear is because I don't want the prop to run into the ground. You can hand launch this plane, so you can just give it throttle and just throw it. In our case, we're gonna wheels up, wheels down, because that's what I like to do. There's 3 different landing gear here. You'll notice that there's 2 that look exactly the same, and they're actually not. One is a left and one's a right. And then this one's the nose gear. It's got a little spring on it. So this is how this works. You can go that way, or you can go this way, I think. Should go either way. I don't know that there's a right way or a wrong way. The manual might speak to that. Let's double check. The Eachine manuals are usually okay. They're not great. They usually kind of have some ambiguity in the English to Chinese translation realm. This looks like it's the generic one that refers to the P-51. So the one-touch aerobatics, you press while flying, you press it, and then you just like put the stick over and it'll do a barrel roll, or you press it and then you pull back the stick and it'll do a loop, which is pretty cool, even when you're in the auto leveling mode. I'm gonna put it the first way because it seemed to fit better. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then you have to take the screw with the provided screwdriver if you prefer. And I usually kind of use my finger to hold that on there. It's actually one of the more tricky steps. So you kind of have to get that started. That screw seems way big for the hole. Is there different sizes? They're all the same. So I'm just going to get this started real quick. So once you get that started, boy, that's going to take a lot to get that thing torqued in there. That's going though. Okay, so now that that's mostly in there, I can go ahead and try to rock this nose gear in. Okay, so I got the landing gear. Wow, that is like really, really tight. Guys, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have the same problem with the other ones. Now, I don't know if that's the right way or the wrong way, but I really don't care. That's good enough for me. Ugliest part of this plane by far is the landing gear. It's an otherwise really nice scale lines. And obviously, you're going to see a lot of T-28s that have 3-bladed props. So that would be kind of cool to see, but you know, you can't get everything on these planes. Okay, so these ones go like that. I'm going to opt to have my landing gear wheel out as opposed to that way out. And the same is going to be true here. Should be really pretty straightforward process. You just slip those in. I'm not a big fan of having to use the screws on these things, to be honest with you, because there's many other planes that just have a press fit and they work just fine. So I'm not sure why Eachine has chosen to do it this way, but they do tend to stay in a little bit better this way. I've never lost one without ripping it out of the wing, but I can't even say that I've done that, have I?
I think Andrew lost one, but we found it.
Andrew's our son.
But if you want to take him out, then you have to hand launch, then you have to unscrew him.
Yep, which is a bit of a pain. And I mean, I've seen uglier landing gear, but that's pretty ugly. Yeah. Because it had such a beautiful scale appeal. The funny thing is, once you get up in the air, they're gonna basically disappear anyway. But in my opinion, if you've got a beautiful plane like that, I just hate that they have ugly landing gear. But like I said, you can hand launch this, land it in the grass. You could probably catch it because it's not gonna fly ultra fast. So, without further ado, I'm gonna plug this in. Let's show the people at home like a close-up. So this slides like this, okay? Plug it in before you turn on your radio. This is, again, one of the nuances of the Eachine lineup and some of the other toy grade airplanes is that you actually plug in the plane without having the transmitter on. Generally, that's not a good idea in radio controlled aircraft because you have no command over the system. Then you turn on your transmitter and you can hear it jump to life. You'll notice these things start moving to the center position. Throttle all the way up, throttle all the way down, and then it's armed. Now there is a gearbox in this, so when the motor runs, it goes through the gearbox to actually make it spin faster, okay? Or slower. So on a plane, this is how this works. Your rudder is gonna go this way or that way, okay? Throttle, elevator up, elevator down. Ailerons, ailerons. Now, if you sit and hold this, it's gonna reset the direction of travel. So watch this. If you hold it too long. Well, that'd be kind of nice if they took away that feature, because that was kind of one of those that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Because it's sitting there, you move it, and it used to switch a direction. So that's actually a good thing. So elevator up, elevator down. Could use a little bit more throw on there. So I guess I'm an expert right now, or is this beginner? I can't tell. It's so hard to tell on this plane. Here's how you can tell. If you're in beginner, it's going to attempt to level the aircraft. If you're an expert, when you flip it over, it's not going to attempt to level the aircraft. You can tell it's attempting to level the aircraft because those things are going to try to bring it back, okay? All right, cool. So I think it's time to go ahead and try to fly this. What do you think? It's not raining currently. We have a little bit of water on the ground, but I think it's currently dry, so we're going to try to fly it. And if you guys are just watching this, you're probably watching the build and setup second and the flight first. Anytime we have any significant amount of setup, we always do the flights first because that's what people really want to see. But for those of you that are learning or just trying to kind of make a good decision and you don't know what you're doing on little planes like this, we appreciate you watching through the whole video. That's great. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. We're doing this stuff all the time right now. I mean, we've got like 7 boxes to open right now. And we've got a lot coming too. So stay tuned. This plane's gonna be cool. I'm sure that the flight's gonna go great. The other 2 planes were fantastic. And so far, this one has been no exception. So thanks for watching. Come back for more.